Welcome to another session of Sani Says, and today is just going to be the second edition of depression. I hope you guys watched the previous episode on depression. If you haven't, quickly go watch it because this is a continuation of it, and I'm just going to take you through the types of depression that you may find yourself in. So, Sani Says, here we go. Let's kick it off. All right, in the previous episode, I gave you just a hint about depression, and maybe you find yourself in depression or not. You may want to take care of yourself so you don't fall into it or you don't go deep into it. So, in this episode, I'm going to talk about 9 distinct types of depression we have. The first type of depression is the major depression. Often, people who experience this type of depression have recurrent episodes of depression throughout their lives. The second one is dysthymia. It's a feeling of a low mood over a long period of time, mostly 1 year or 2 years or more, it depends. And it could be described as a feeling of living in an autopilot mode. If you experience such a depression, you need to pay attention to yourself. The third one will be seasonal affective disorder, which has to do with the mood swings determined by the sunlight people don't have during winter time and stuff like that. So the season is affecting their state of being well, or it's making them feel depressed. So most of the time it affects their habit or anything that makes them happy, so because they don't get enough sunlight. So if you are such a person, or if you feel like you are in such a state, you need to pay attention to yourself and you need to control yourself. It's okay to feel like that, but you have to come out of it strong and healthy. The fourth one is atypical depression, which is when feeling heaviness in their limbs. They may suffer from irritability and relationship problems, as well as prone to overeating and oversleeping. The fifth one is bipolar disorder. It's also called a manic depressive disorder because it involves alternating between mania and depressive disorders. When you feel stuck in bed, you sometimes have hallucinations, and sometimes you don't want to be around people. It's another form of depression, which is my sixth one, and it's known as the psychotic depression. You may want to really pay attention to people around you when they have this kind of depression. My seventh one has to do with postpartum, when after giving birth, mothers may feel disconnected from their new baby sometimes, or fear that they will hurt their child. So this is also another form of depression that mostly women who give birth feel or go through. That's postpartum depression. The eighth type of depression is mostly found in women after the second half of their menstrual cycle. It's called a premenstrual dysphoric disorder, and it has to do with their inability to function normally. And the ninth one has to do with situational depression or situational disorder. And this, most people go through it in multiple times or once in their lifetime. It has to do when you lose a job, when you lose a family member, or when something goes wrong. Any event that happens in your life that is really sad, or is really bad to you. So it can have severe effect on your lifestyle and stuff like that. So the ninth one, most people are found in this one because most people have this event occurring one time in their life or many times in their life. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean you are wrong or anything like that. But how to come out of it or how to stay strong is what matters. These are the 9 types of depression upon research that I've brought to you guys, and I hope you liked it. But before this video ends, one of my students in Istanbul, she's a psychologist. She reached out to me after watching the first episode on depression, and she decided to talk about it also because she's a psychologist. It's her field. So watch this video after we come back, and then we say bye-bye. So hold on, check out this video.
Hello, today I want to talk about depression because it's very common and serious illness. It affects how we feel, how we think, how we behave in our lives. So we have to talk about depression actually. So I don't want to talk about the diagnosis, or I don't want to talk about the symptoms, because probably you all know what kind of symptoms depression has. But I want to talk about the thoughts, feelings, and behavior. You know, when you feel depressed, you probably think about something from your past. I mean, your past experiences affect your life, and if you stuck in the past, then you may feel depressed, which is normal. You can feel like that, but you cannot mix sadness with depression. They are different from each other. They are not the same. You can feel sad, but also you can feel happy if something changed in your life. So if something changes in your life, then maybe your thoughts change, and according to your thoughts, your feelings can change, and then it affects your behaviors. We can give an example in this point, by the way. Let's say you think that I will never be a successful person in my life. This is your thought. You don't know the reality, you don't know the fact, but you think like this. You're never gonna be a successful person in your life. So think that how you feel when you hear this thought in your mind, when you see this thought like a cloud, let's say, in your mind. How do you feel? You feel probably sad. You feel maybe in time you're gonna feel depressed. Then you're gonna act like you will not have any interest to anything, and you don't wanna take any action plan in your life, because you believe that you are a unsuccessful person, and you feel like you are loss of energy, and you feel fatigue, and you feel worthless or guilty. Do you see? That's why you just stay in your bed and don't do anything. And this is a circle. If we talk about from the perspective of cognitive behavior psychology, then we can see this cycle in our lives. So maybe if we try to change our thoughts, maybe it affects our feelings, and accordingly it affects our behaviors. Thank you.
That's all, folks. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you watch on any of the social media handles that I promoted on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And don't forget to share. And if you liked it, make sure you share, or send me your comment, or leave your comment, and I'll reply them, or I'll respond to them. Thank you very much. Ciao, ciao. Bye bye. Sani Dance GH. Sani Says. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Stay safe.